Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today you are going to be taking your second quiz for the Outsiders unit. Make sure that you have finished reading chapters 7 and 8 before starting today's quiz because that's what the quiz is going to be on today. Right now, I want you to make sure you have out any text, chapter responses, or any notes you would like to use because you can use them as a resource today on your quiz. So before we get started, let's have a little review of kind of what is important to remember for today's quiz. So let's talk about Dally and Johnny's conditions. They both were hurt in the fire, and how are they similar? Well, they both got hurt in the same location with the fire, and they had similar burns. But it's different because Dally is going to recover in a couple weeks, the doctor said, where Johnny has a much more serious condition. We noticed that Johnny is now paralyzed from the waist down because of his back being broken. And a lot of the doctors keep saying if he survives. Remember how the newspaper in chapter 7 says that juvenile delinquents are turned heroes. We see that now the tide is turning for the town in viewing the greasers, that no longer are the greasers these bad delinquents in town, but they are heroes for saving the children. And we saw that Randy and Pony had a very important conversation where they realized that they have a lot more in common than they once thought. Randy and Pony talk about how they wish they could live in a world with no labels, where Randy didn't have to be a soc and Pony didn't have to be a greaser. In chapter 8, we see that Dally is angry at Two-Bit and Pony. And we see that he's angry because he knows that Johnny is doing worse and he wants vengeance on the Socs for doing this to Johnny. Now, did Johnny end up getting hurt by the Socs? No, but because they had to run away from the Socs, they ended up being in the burning building where Johnny was hurt. So Dally is blaming this on the people he hates, which are the Socs. How did Two-Bit respond when Pony shared his feelings about the rumble? Well, Two-Bit didn't really understand why Pony was acting chicken, why he didn't want to be a part of the rumble. And Pony is starting to have doubts on whether a fight really can fix this problem. And then finally, Cherry and Pony have a very emotional conversation where Pony asks Cherry why she won't visit Johnny. And we have to remember, Johnny killed Bob, and Bob is Cherry's boyfriend. And so Cherry can't look Johnny in the eye. While she agreed that Bob wasn't the best person, she doesn't agree with the decision of Johnny killing him. So let's go over some important information for today's quiz. So your first question will be to look at pages 97 through 99, which I have linked those pages on your Google Classroom for today for you to look at. And I want you to see, is the following statement a reasonable conclusion that the reader may draw from the selection? So the statement is, Randy is not going to be mean to greasers anymore. I want you to tell me whether or not you think that is true and provide 2 details from the text to support your answer. So you're going to be writing a few sentences for this one. For number 2, you are going to, based off of the information on page 104, which is also in that document I have posted, I want you to answer, why does Johnny refuse to see his mother? You are picking one answer for this and highlighting the answer. Then let's review your summarizing skills because your next couple questions are going to deal with this skill. Now remember, a summary is a shortened version of the original text, and it should be written in the same order. And we want to practice some of the things we talked about with significant events. Remember, a summary is listing and telling me about the most important events that have taken place in that chapter. So when you're summarizing, ask yourself, what are the main ideas? What is repeated? What are the most important details? And what is irrelevant and unnecessary? When you're thinking through these ideas, this will help you in a summary. So your final question is to read the summary for chapter 8. This has multiple parts to it. So you're going to first read the summary from chapter 8. Then you are going to read the options and highlight the sentence that should be added to the summary. Now, remember, it should be written in the same order without opinion and should include the most important information from the original text. So when you're looking at the summary, ask yourself which of these details should be added to the summary. And that's all the information you need to know for today's quiz. So good luck. Make sure that it's turned in by the end of the day. And I believe in you and you're going to do great. Bye, everyone.